if I could. And I would call to the stage Al Michael, Carl Grandinette, Jack Daniel, and Mr. Lloyd Swor.
First, I want to thank the Allied Finance Adjusters for inviting me to this association meeting. Thank you very much. The board, the dean, and also to the executive committee. My name is Al Michael. I'm the father of John Michael, who is the owner of Web Weaver USA, which a lot of you know, and if you don't, you should. I want to tell you a little bit about how Midwest Recovery became a member of Allied Finances Association. I served in the military service from 1942 to 46. In 1946, I was discharged, and at that particular time, I went to work for the Bank of Ohio in Cleveland, Ohio. And I was the collection manager for the collection department at that particular time. Being manager of the collection department, I assigned a lot of automobile assignments to various Allied members around the United States. That was for 4 or 5 years. In 1951, Paul Lelou, who is the father of Hank Lelou, who I was very close with and had a very close relationship with. He said, Al, we need a representative or a member in Cleveland, Ohio. Why don't you join our association? I thought it over for a little bit. You know, leaving the bank at that particular time in 1951 was quite a decision. Because at that time, when you worked for a bank, man, you were supposed to be up on top of the world. I did leave the bank in 1951. I put an application in for the Allied Finances Association, and I was accepted as the member in Cleveland, Ohio. I opened up an office in Cleveland, and I also had an office in Youngstown, Ohio, which we did very well. In 1957, the opportunity came for a membership in Detroit. I put in the application to Allied for the membership in Detroit and was accepted. I opened them an office in Detroit, Michigan, under the name of Midwest Recovery and Adjustment Service Incorporated. At that particular time, I had offices on Warren Avenue. We changed our offices from Warren to Cloverdale, and then in 1974, Midwest Recovery went also into the automobile auction business. We combined Midwest Recovery and Midwest Auto Auction, which was the first membership of Allied that had the services of the repossessions and also to sell their repossessed cars. We did not only represent the banks that for their repossessed cars, we sold cars for dealerships, we sold cars for Ford Motor Credit, we sold cars for Chrysler Credit, and we also sold cars for individuals at that particular time, which turned out to be a pretty good, profitable situation. And in 1978, I hired a fella by the name of George Badine. He was an adjuster for me at that particular time. George Badine, your present president of Allied Finance Adjusters. And he was elected the president of Allied in 2004 and still is the president of your association. And I want to congratulate you, all of you, for the purpose. I have a lot of respect for George, and I know that you do too, because you elected him again as your president. Once again, I want to thank Allied Finance Adjusters, George Badine, and the Executive Committee for inviting me to this convention, the 75th convention. As you might realize, with Midwest Recovery coming into Allied in 1951, Midwest Recovery has been with Allied for 60 years. And we enjoy it. And we want to thank you very much for all of your cooperations, and thank you all.
I'd just like to thank you for inviting me. And I've enjoyed it. It's something I really didn't expect. You have such a great organization. And I hope maybe later I can come back later. But this time, George, if you'll come forward, I appreciate it. This time, George, I'd like to present you the ring for President of Allied Finance Adjusters.
That's a past president's ring that used to give what when they got. Thank you.
I'll look out here. I was telling Hank today, this would be about 3 of our conventions. It has grown, and it's come a long ways. I'm just wondering today, how much change is going to be over the next decade or two? And I've been out of it, since 93, I think it was. Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it. It was nice meeting a lot of you folks.
Last but not least. Shut up, Jack. If you had told me a couple, 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, that I would ever see a group of people gathered together, this many people representing Allied Finance Adjusters, I would have doubted you. I watched. When I joined it was a great organization. Some people broke off and attempted to literally destroy Allied. Not only attempted to destroy it, but they wanted to grind it into the ground. They were bad. We stayed, and then we went other directions. I joined Allied in 1971 in Houston, Texas, by buying Curly Mason in Wichita, Kansas. The agency that I established in 1967 is still in business. I joined other trade associations after Allied seemed to be in a great slump and worked with them. I'm humbled tonight that you would ask me to come to your meeting in St. Louis. You have greeted me far beyond the expectations. You have shown a concern, I want to use the word love, brotherly love to me. Some of us could write some real history books. I didn't make that history. I left that history up to others in my crowd. They'll tell you I was the author of much of that history, but that's not true. My one wish is that you will continue to grow, that you will become the biggest and the best and most efficient association. I thank you very much.
Someone said today to me that the big shoes to fill are taking someone else's position recently, and I says, no, the shoes aren't that big, but when you get up next to these guys, I barely fill them at all. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate all you've done. And I want to thank Al especially for that commercial, because I am your surrogate father, and of course, John, you took care of both your sons today.